Stream services. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing. Yeah, okay. The mic. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Seems like I got two mics. We don't. Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing, one, two. Do I have a reverb? Do I still have an echo? Do I still have a reverb? Because that I don't want, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm not feeling this at all. Yeah. So we're gonna carry on despite the difficulties. Got to break out the multimeter in a little bit. Find out what's going on. Anyway. So what y'all been up to, man? It's been a minute. It's been almost 2 weeks. It's really been 2 weeks, more or less. How y'all doing, man? I miss y'all. Y'all miss me? You miss your boy? No? Fuck you then. Hey, how man? I just man, I can't really tell what my volume is like, man. Yeah, this is not ideal. This is not ideal. This is not ideal. So there's a lot that's been going on in the news. There's a whole lot. And when we get a few people in here, I am going to talk about it, man. You know, man, they out here pulling hits in parking lots. You know, man, they out here. Wow, man. There's a few things in the news. You know, we're gonna talk about this Tiffany Henry situation and basically the corruption in a lot of these places where we have elected officials. You know, Tiffany Henry is simply a small example of the corruption of Cook County. Y'all know I used to work in Cook County. And I know about the corruption, man. I know about the corruption well. I know about the workplace bullying. And I think I'm going to make that a big part of my platform now. I'm going to talk about a lot of the workplace bullying, a lot of the BS politics, so forth and so on. I think a lot of that stuff needs to be exposed, especially in this era of revealing and truth telling. I'm going to tell some of the truth about the stuff that I've seen, the stuff that I've experienced, the stuff that I had to work up under, the lousy people, the terrible leadership, the crooks and criminals, the bully bosses. I think I'm going to talk about that stuff more. I think you all need to hear some of those stories so you can better have an idea of why I say you need to always record them in this day and age. I used to work with these fools when you didn't have the means to really record them, or it was a little bit harder. It wasn't impossible, but it wasn't as streamlined that you could record them, and you had a lot of lousy people in leadership get away with a lot of lousy stuff. You know, um, you had a lot of unsavory stuff going on, and these are the people who it was their job to enforce the rules, but they themselves were not only breaking the rules, they would rub your face in it. And so we're going to talk about the Tiffany Henyards. We're going to talk about the Lori Lightfoots. We're going to talk about the Tom Darts. We're going to talk about the Michael Madigans and Lisa Madigans and all the rest of the clowns out there in Illinois who moved about in the in the clout pool, who were corrupt, who played crony politics, and all of their minions. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about that stuff, man. We're gonna talk about how not only you see the likes of your Tiffany Henyards, your Fonnie Wilsons, your Latoya Cantrells, and different things like that. This is happening all over the country. You know, and it has always been my position that when it comes down to it, it's really not a gender issue. It is a character issue. You're going to have bullies that are male and female, so the gender doesn't matter. It's just how they carry out their bullying. That's what we're dealing with, you know? So we'll talk about that stuff. We'll talk about how one guy got bullied to the point of deletion. The guy that was testifying against Boeing and their safety issues, I strongly suspect that they possibly had him deleted in that parking lot before I guess it was the final day of him giving his deposition to their lawyers. They got him up out of there. This is more than just firing. They got him up out of there. You know, when they came out with so-called enhanced whistleblower protections during the Obama administration, I found out real quick it's some bullshit. Excuse my language. It was some bull crap. You had protected groups that really weren't protected groups because they weren't the flavor of the month. You all know veterans and disabled veterans are protected groups, right? But in the Cook County government, particularly at the Cook County Sheriff's Police Department, you had higher ups that didn't like military veterans. And they harassed them, had them drug tested every time they went away for training, had opened up all kinds of administrative investigations on them so they couldn't get promoted, told them that they weren't going to get promoted until they got out of the military. Even though this was a protected group, the thing about it is all of this stuff was hard to prove. And the people that had to prove were afraid to tell because they didn't want to deal with the retaliation. The bullies, in essence, were protected while they were bullying a protected group. Why y'all think I don't trust Democrats? I don't trust Democrats. White male Democrats are racist. White female Democrats. White Democrats are racist to me. They're more racist than anything they can accuse white Republicans of being. You know, black female Democrats are misandrous. Black male Democrats lack a spine, as far as I'm concerned. And when anybody from the left tells you, "Oh, I'm an independent," no, you're just a disaffected Democrat. You don't like your party. You are what the Republicans accuse libertarians of being. I myself, who's actually a libertarian, you know, we got to own it. I mean, I would rather there be a libertarian party, but in this current two-party system, we know it don't mean shit, but other than you're a Republican, is what it is. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to lean into it, and I'm going to vote Republican, and I'm going to Republican my ass off. Even though I'm not a conservative, I'm not a conservative. It's lifestyle. I don't give a shit about conservative values like that. I care about fiscal policy. I care about border security. I care about actually protecting children, so forth and so on. That's what makes. That's why I side with the Republican Party. Speaking of which, hey Charles Barkley, I'm still here. I'm ready to get hit in the face when I see you. Make sure you punch me in the face, cause I'm gonna eat that punch and then I'm gonna eat your lunch, cause I'm gonna sue you into oblivion. Just letting you know. Yeah. So check it out. Florida law enforcement has been out here doing the work. Have y'all seen what's been going on out there in Polk County? They arrested like 250 people in like trafficking investigations. They got an ongoing operation going happening, and they've arrested like 250 people. I think well over 250 people, and some of them were military members. Some of them, I think one or two was a police officer, a former police officer, former correction officer, business people, church officials. Hey, they've been catching people out there trying to buy a quickie. They've been tearing them up. You know, I personally think if we're going to decriminalize it for the female sex workers and the LGBT sex workers, you got to decriminalize it for the patrons, because guess what? Guess what? People pay for sex anyway, particularly men. They're already paying for it. Why are you locking them up? Oh, you wanna enforce you want to enforce monogamy? Then stop divorce. You're not gonna do that though, huh? And then you're gonna make a guy who gets divorced, you're gonna make him pay for the rest of his life, even though y'all did change that in Florida. Shout out to Florida. There's still more work to do, Florida. You got to make paternity fraud. Uh, got to make that a felony. Got to make it a crime. So until Governor DeSantis makes paternity fraud a crime, I'm not going to take whatever he says about paternity seriously. We're going to press you until you make paternity fraud a crime. Governor DeSantis, sir. Yeah, we're going to press you on that. It's time that it becomes a crime. But anyway, getting back to what law enforcement in Florida is doing. Hey, Florida got real lawmen. They got real crime fighters out here. They do not play any games. You commit a crime, they are on your ass. Shout out to Florida lawmen. You know, as y'all know, I did 29 years law enforcement. In a corrupt agency, well, I'm not going to say it was a corrupt agency. You had a lot of good people that worked for the department I worked in. You had a lot of good um, people that wanted to do the right thing. It's just we had three people at the top. Actually, it was more than three. It was quite a few at the top were corrupt bullies. They're gone now. You know, they're gone. You know, well, most of them are gone. You know, the some of the others have been neutralized, but they were all tied up with Michael Madigan, and Michael Madigan was and is corrupt. And so, unfortunately, at the police department, you had corrupt people running that department. You know, I said what I said. If you've been here, you know how I felt about some of those individuals. They got some good leadership now, who's basically trying to fix a lot of the problems that were left by certain individuals. You know, one being Pat Dwyer, who likes showing his winky to the female employees. Yeah, I'll say his name. Um, he was a suave racist. Made sure every black man on that job he get fired. He got fired. Meanwhile, you have white guys stealing from the taxpayers, robbing people, and so forth. He didn't catch none of them, but if you slept in your car, he caught you, got you fired too. When he wasn't showing his junk to the female employees. Jason O'Malley and Brian White covering up his crimes. All three of them, you know, harassing people and, you know, the shitty people. Oh well. Oh well. None of us are there anymore. But, you know, the thing is that they're no different than Tiffany Henyards. Well, Tiffany Henyard is no different than them. She's certainly not the first and won't be the last. And that's not a nod of support to Tiffany. What that is saying that she is another symptom of a long-standing problem of corrupt leadership in the county of Cook. You know, if there is a swamp that needs to be drained, it is Cook County, Illinois. Something needs to be done politically. The people of Cook County, they got to get tired. They got to get tired. So anyway, what are you guys up to out there? What y'all got going on? See if anybody was out there listening to the stream. See if we got anybody in Rumble on the stream. Hey, y'all, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Quit playing. Come on, hit that like button, man. Hit the like button. Hit the follow. Follow the channel. Follow the channel on the respective platforms. Do me that favor. You know, do me that favor. So yeah, I am going to do my part. I'm going to commit myself to do my part in revealing as much of the BS as possible. If I find out about it and I can verify it, I am going to reveal it. I'm going to reveal it. You know, because these people, they'll if you do something they don't like, or you violate the rules, they're going to hold you accountable. We're going to hold them accountable too. Cool. Everybody going to be accountable. You know, apparently on that Vegas trip, there was a situation that Tiffany Henry was aware of where somebody told somebody else, I like you and I want you. We're going to do this the easy way or the hard way. And they did it the hard way. And Tiffany knew about it. Allegedly. Allegedly, Tiffany knew about it. And instead of launching an investigation and getting assistance for the victim and getting justice for the victim, Tiffany fires the victim in typical Cook County fashion. I'm not surprised if that's indeed what happened, then I'm not surprised. That's how they do things. And they have to get caught. This is again why I say, you know, and really this applies all over the country. When there's an issue, where there's a crime being committed in the workplace, you need to start video recording stuff. I don't care if your state is a one party or two party consent state. Record it anyway. Because one way or another, it's got to be revealed. It's got to be revealed. Yeah, too many people getting away with too many offenses and ruining people's lives. It's got to be changed. Yeah. So I feel like I'm getting that echo again. I'm getting that echo, and I'm still not seeing my USB. Not seeing my mic, man. So I'm not happy about that. You know, not happy about that. Trying to. Yeah. So other than that, man. So what else y'all want to talk about, man? I haven't been here in so long. I'm pretty sure y'all got stuff you want to run past me. You know, I told y'all what to do, man. Either hit me on the inbox on Facebook or shoot me an email. My email is in my bio. It's Mr. Royce J88 at gmail.com. Shoot me an email. You got something you want me to talk about, you know? Hell, you can even leave comments on YouTube or Rumble. You know, if it's that pressing, you know, or y'all just that lazy and don't want to send the email. Hey man, you know, it is what it is. So it is what it is. So Candace Owens, man, yeah, Candace has been going in. She's been going back and forth with this guy she calls Rabbi Dildo because Candace has recently discovered something myself and others like Hood Servative, shout out to Hood Servative, something that we've known for quite some time, that there is a certain demographic that is overrepresented as managers, retailers, videographers, actors, and the money people in the exhibitionist industry. When I say exhibitionist, I mean the industry where you had the funky 70s music and the pizza guy come to the door and the lonely woman answers the door with a robe with nothing on under it, and you know the cable man or the pizza guy gets to the door. The woman answers the door, and then she opens up the robe, and she's got nothing on. Well, there's a certain religious, ethno-religious group that is overrepresented in that industry, and certain statements about being in that industry has been attributed to that group from alleged members of that group. Candace Owens is just finding out about this. Black Girl Magic is late to the party. I've known about this for about 10 years, at least 10 years. And, you know, she's been getting into it with this guy, this rabbinical guy, rabbinical dildo, you know, and you know, he himself has a business where him and his daughter sells sex toys. He sells self-pleasuring toys, you know, and different things like that. So Candace Owens is just finding out about this, you know. As they say, once the noticing starts, it's hard to stop noticing. There's gonna be some more stuff revealed, you know. There's gonna be a lot of stuff revealed about everybody, and so everybody's got to brace themselves because it might be your group's turn next. It is what it is, you know. Just like this the last few you know Rambo incidents uh, have been you know a whole bunch of the Mrs. Doubtfires have been pulling you know violent crimes against the public and having mass violent crimes. You know, the public is going to start noticing it more and more. Why is it that this particular group of people, for such a small group, keeps being super violent? Start, you know, they keep shooting up stuff. You know, they keep attacking people. You know, and then they go, we're dying every day. You know, but they're attacking people. They're you know using the laws to be misogynist, there's no bigger misogyny than a man dressing up as a woman and imitating her with an exaggerated imitation, or competing against those women in sports and beating them up and destroying their records, sports records and stuff like that. It's misogyny, and nobody will say it. You know, not enough of us will say it anyway and call it what it is. It's misogyny. You guys, y'all want to call a whole lot of stuff misogyny, but that, and that is the prime example of misogyny. You want to see a man, mansplain about a woman. Watch the change up boys. Just watch them. Watch what they do. Yeah. So you know, y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all want to play games. Y'all want to play games. So it is what it is. And yeah, I'm really not feeling this OBS update. You know, I think I'm just gonna have to switch everything over to StreamYards and just deal with StreamYards like that because OBS is tripping. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see something. Whoa! Let me see. Testing, testing. Yeah, I'm testing, testing. One, test. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Man. Wow. Testing, testing. Let me see if I could. It's still an issue. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. One, two, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing. Let me turn that off because it's pretty much a done deal. So yeah, so we still got the Fannie Willis hearing going, and we it really looks like the judge artfully um, set up the parameters for appeal and uh, removed himself from that process so that he wouldn't have to be the one to deal with the political backlash from that while ensuring that justice is examined and doled out properly in this case of the state of Georgia, Fulton County against Donald Trump. So, so we'll see what happens, but he didn't want to be a part of that, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. I wouldn't have want to have been a part of that case any longer than I needed to be. So, can you all hear me? Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing. It seems like testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing, one, two. Yeah, seems like testing, testing, one, two. 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 Yeah, well, definitely, it's highly likely that judge is going to be blamed for whatever outcomes the Democrats don't want to have happen with this case. They're going to blame him for as much as possible. And so what he did was he basically minimized any of that. He minimized as much as he could. Shout out to him. I don't blame him for doing that because that's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. And who really wants to be in that position? You know, you want to see Americans get justice, but at the same time, and a lot of you all don't realize this, justice has a tendency to go against democracy and vice versa. You know, what a lot of you all don't realize is that democracy can be a lynch mob. It can be a tiki torch mob. And they can say, we want Larry. We want Larry because we want to set Larry on fire. And if they're the majority and they're going to set Larry on fire only to find out that Larry didn't do the offense that they said Larry did, you know, then it's too late for Larry. Larry didn't get justice. Justice will say that, hey, Larry has a right to stand trial. Larry is is innocent until proven beyond the shadow of a reasonable doubt that he's guilty. Larry has a right to an attorney. Larry has a right against self-incrimination, so forth and so on, you know? So um you you don't want Larry, you know, you, you don't want people to not have the rights that they are entitled to, especially as American citizens. We all have rights, and everybody is entitled, everybody's guaranteed certain rights. You know, if it's spelled out explicitly in the Constitution, you are guaranteed that right. You know, whether you know and realize and understand what that right means or not, you are still guaranteed that right. The problem with democracy is democracy, you can vote somebody's rights away. And that's what I have an issue with. You know, I'd rather be in a constitutional republic than a democracy. Because a democracy, everything is for sale, and everything is majority rule, and the majority isn't always right. we talk about, we always talk about, what's his name? Project Innocence, how it looks like every week they're letting some guy out because he's been exonerated by DNA evidence of different crimes, you know. But it was democracy that led them to be locked up to begin with. If you really want to talk about, you really want to put democracy in a scary context, you remember the Central Park Five and how the big thing that they hold against Trump. Trump was racist because Central Park Five. It wasn't that he was racist because of the Central Park Five back then. It was known that these boys were innocent. Everybody thought these boys were guilty, and even to this day, there is some evidence that say that they might have been guilty. But the narrative was pushed in the media, and everybody thought that these boys were guilty, and it wasn't a good look. You know how everything went down. It looked like the guys was guilty. And if you can fool the public, you can fool the majority, you can control democracy. Who needs rights when you got, rights don't mean nothing if you got democracy. So when I hear people talk about that this is a democracy, first of all, no, this is a constitutional republic, and second of all, democracy, this country will end up like one of them crazy ass countries in Africa. You got some democracies over there, and we see what they have over there. I don't want to live in that. I am very forward in saying that. I don't want to live in that. Africans don't want to live in that either because that's why Africans keep leaving. That's why they keep leaving. The Democratic Republic of Congo, Democratic is literally in its name. I had some old, noodle back liberal, tell me, well, that's not real democracy. Come on, dude. It says it in the name. we, I'm not gonna play this game with you, you know. So yeah, but getting back to what I was saying, um, but what Fanny was trying to do, she was simply a tool in the toolbox of the DNC to try to trick them to try to convince the majority of a narrative pushed by the Democrats, and just bypass certain rights that former President Trump has. And so, this judge wanted to ensure that Trump exercises his rights, and he gets a fair trial, but he didn't want to have any more to do with this current situation than he already had. And that's understandable. That's understandable. This is gonna be a messy situation, however it goes. And that's just the truth. You know, it is what it is. And ultimately, what happens in that trial is going to dictate what happens over the next 4 years. You know, it is what it is. So, Am I getting any more? Yeah, still getting a little more echo. What about now? Is that better? Ain't that better? That's better. Ain't that better? Ain't that better? That's better. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. So other than that, you got that going. You got the Boeing guy. What was his name? I'm not trying to do all of that. The Boeing whistleblower. What was his name? John Barnett. You know what? I I had a trick to remembering his name, but I forgot the trick. But his name is John Barnett, and the trick to remembering his name was remembering Josh Barnett, who, if you all know who Josh Barnett is, he is a famous catch wrestler and for the discipline of catch wrestling, different things like that. He was in Strike Force. He was in the UFC, so forth and so on. Josh Barnett he was legit. He was legit, and this guy's name is John Barnett, and so that was a way for me to remember his name. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go get a new USB interface cord. I think that may be a big part of my problem. So you know, if that's if it's that easy to fix, then that's done. But you know, let me check out these other platforms and see if anybody has logged on to these other platforms. So don't look like I got a whole lot going on Facebook or Rumble. Oh, snap. On Facebook, man, I got the closed captions going. It's actually pretty cool, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know? Yeah, so other than that, you know, what do y'all think, man? It's so much going on. This situation with Tiffany Henyard over there in Dalton with this alleged uh SA situation, I think that if anything is going to be the first thing to unravel her because it's a serious issue. You know, if those allegations are sustained, then she's done. You know, because the push is she's a woman and she allowed this to happen to another woman, and that's a situation. And not only that, she turned around and fired her. In this day of age of Me Too and Time's Up and all of that stuff, and you know, that's the worst thing she could do. That is the absolute worst thing she could do. So we'll see. We'll see, man. You know, I'm definitely going to be following that situation because she got to explain what happened. She got to explain what her rationale was. You know, and that's the thing. You can bully a person in the workplace all you want as an elected official, as a manager, as a supervisor, as as an officer of the organization, just so long as it doesn't have anything to do sexual with a sexual violation. That's where they're going to get you. Even the accusation is career ending, you know, and that's just what it is. You could be in the you can be you know above board, but it can still potentially ruin your career. The very allegation. So it is what it is. If they sustain it, oh no, she done. Tiffany is done. If they sustain that allegation, she done, man. She can wrap it up. So, so that's pretty much all I got right now. Um, I am gonna come back later because I gotta make up for lost time, man. I ain't talked to y'all in so long. You know, I miss you. I miss my people, man. I miss my people. I miss y'all. Yeah, man. You know, I was studying hard. I was studying hard, man. You know, so I had to get done what I had to get done, and you know, to take the certification test each time, it was like $100 a pop, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna be doing this more than once. you know, you know. So it was one and done. I was able to accomplish everything. You know, first time go. You know, so I was proud of myself for that. I was like, I still got it. I can still read. So that was my whole thing. I think the one thing I have one area I did have some trouble with, but it's an area I've always had trouble with. And it's just I think it's just because of just who I am. It was a that particular area was a challenge. So but all of the other stuff was a breeze. I was like, man, you know, let me get through this, get it done. Yeah, man. So you know, so I'm gonna come back later, man. What do you all want to talk about when I come back? You know, other than just babbling, other than just me babbling. You know, because there's so much to talk about that I'll wind up just babbling about everything. If you guys want me to focus in on a particular subject, that's fine. I just need to know what you all would like me to focus in on. If not, y'all just want me to babble and yap, I can do that too. I'm cool with that. You know, either way. So ultimately, my goal is, and I've stated this numerous times, I want to grow this platform. I want to be able to uh, reach more people, eventually make money, advertise products, all of that stuff. I want to be able to do it full time and to make it worth being able to do full time, and to actually put out something that you guys enjoy watching and that people will pay someone to advertise on. You know, so we'll see. We will see, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I think I got to go out and go get some electronic parts. You know, try to get this situation figured out because I got to go harder. I got to go back. I got to go and triple down on what I'm doing on here, what I'm doing on Facebook. I'm even on Twitter. I'm even on Twitter with it. X. That's because that's what they're calling it. So so I want to get it to where you know it's worth it. So, well, all right. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna come back a little bit later. You all who showed up, thank you for showing up. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out. Hit the like button on the way out. I'm coming back later. You guys come through. We can hang out. Talk some shit. You know, I got a little something for that. So, if you guys do come through, I got a little something for it.
Fuck you, nigga. You think you hard? Wanna talk shit? Pick up the phone, bitch. This the real shit right here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we'll get it figured out, man. We'll get it figured out. No news. What up, man? No, what up? No news. Man, I was about to hop off here, bro. Man, I was about to hop off. Can you hear me? I'm having some trouble with as usual. You know, if it ain't the audio, it's the OBS. It's always something with me, man. So, I got that stuff going. I'm not getting don't seem like I'm getting a connection between my mixer and my MacBook. I suspect it may be an issue with my interface cord. So I'm gonna go try to find a new interface cord and see if that'll work. You know. So I'm gonna have to do a little driving, bro. I appreciate that like from you. You know, I'm back and I will, I'm going to be hopping off here and I'm coming back with another show. In fact, I'll make the banner and stuff for it as soon as I get off of here. Show you guys that I mean business. Yeah, man. So, y'all can also find me on Facebook. Y'all can also find me on Twitter and Rumble. So, we got quite a you got a few platforms you can listen to the show, and like I said, I'll do more babbling because I want to grow this platform. But on that note, I'm gonna shut this down. And I'm gonna come back later with some. Where all these people coming from, man? Where was you mother suckers when I when I started babbling? Now y'all want to start coming in, man. Y'all want to trickle in here, man. Listen, I am not the master of build up, so y'all just gonna have to come back later, man. I'm about to create the thumbnail and everything for the next show. Hey, I'm gonna get on out of here. This is Royce J. Royce Media. Like, share, subscribe, get in the comment section. Hit that like button and hit the dislike button. Either way, hit a button. Let me know something. Catch me on Facebook. Catch me on Rumble, and catch me on Twitter. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace.